I think we're live. Just bring the comments up, maybe. Yeah. Okay. And this needs to get pushed up a little bit. Let me just move some things around. Okay, so it is, we missed Murder Monday yesterday. The whole clam chowder incident. So here we are today doing kind of a Tuesday thing. Elz will be along when she's along. She was recording all day and then she went outside. So my guess is we won't see her for a little while. Because usually she spends a couple hours out there smoking and poking her phone. Probably not a couple hours tonight, but generally speaking, she's not anxious to do anything else. So it'll just be you and I for a little while, whoever's here. Trying to figure out what I want to work on today. Oh, and did I get up and get that stuff? And, oh, here. I put it over here. Hey, Adria, how you doing? Hope you're having a good night. I probably should find a home for this pretty soon. I like it, but it needs a spot. Now, I pulled it off here, and I kind of screwed up a little bit because I made it taller than the book. And it needs to be a flippy thing. So I'm not sure what to do with it. I mean, I can trim this part down a little bit if I want to, but I don't really want to. And so I'm not sure. Yeah, welcome. Rebecca's in the house. Well, how this usually works, Leah, is I'm working on a serial killer journal where I'm the serial killer for pretends. And are you not doing camera tonight, Elz?
My camera just won't go on. Boot me out for a second.
Okay, so kick you out? How do I kick you out? I don't know how to do that. Oh, I see. Never mind. Oh, there we go. Okay.
Ah, kitty butt.
How did I know that was going to happen? Hey, Sherry, how you doing? Hi, Kitty Jen. So I work on the serial killer for a while, and Elz shows kitty butt. And after a while, Elz will tell us about a serial killer, a murder, a cold case, something creepy. Usually, we've been doing a lot of serial killers, so I have no idea what she has planned. She almost never tells me.
Secret.
She's very, very on the hush hush with the information. Maeve is growling at the kitty butt. That must be why you got down. I sense a disturbance in the force. So I'm just looking for what page I want to work on tonight.
Anti-Carla treats. I know.
So that's what
my cat into a drug addict.
Hopefully you'll enjoy your time with us, Leah.
All right. Who's here? Hey, Adrian, nice to see you. Leah, welcome. I'm sorry I could not welcome you properly initially, but hey, I tried. Krabby's in the house. Miss Jen, hello. Hi, Sherry. Boy, we got all kinds of people. And Kitty Butt. We got Kitty Butt, so
Yeah.
How bad can the world be?
I don't know. Depends on how mad the cat is.
Yeah, right.
Usually it's Murder Monday, but we clam chowdered our way right out of that.
Yeah, we did. It's entirely my fault.
I didn't blame anybody. I wrote up a whole description, and I didn't blame anybody. I said it was mayhem and pandemonium because there was no heavy cream, and Mr. Mike had to save the day by going to the store.
Yeah, it was.
And then we were so involved in making and eating the clam chowder that nobody realized we didn't have Murder Monday until 7:34 at night.
Yes, I know you love me because I gave you treats. Now go away.
And that's what happened. Clam chowder did us in.
Well, and chicken chowder.
Well, yeah, because she's allergic to seafood, so she has to have chicken chowder. I'm just figuring out where I'm going to work in today. And flipping through everything because, it's fun. Who doesn't like a flippy for that piece? Okay, so this did not work in the pocket that I chose for it because I put those staples on the back. And it tore a hole in the page here. So I'm going to have to figure out something else for this. It may just be a thing that's stuck in the book. So we're going to maybe work on this page and try and undo the damage here. But we needing a pocket for over here. So let's see what we got in our sort of started pile. I pulled out some kind of fun summer images, some fairs and amusement parks for maybe, that's a good place to not be worried about people you've never met before, right?
Yeah.
And possibly get yourself murderized.
Yeah.
Okay, let's try that tag that we already have sort of completed. I love this picture a lot. Loving it. Okay, so let's see.
The answer to that question is no, Harry.
I am sorry, ladies. I'm so sorry about last night. Let's see if this one will fit in here. Nope, it's too wide, and I don't want to cut it. Okay, so that's not going to work. We're going to have to make a tag. So let me pull up my box of goodies.
Yeah, we seriously, we sat here yesterday afternoon and we went, oh, we got to be home by X amount of time because we got to post for the live. We got to go live. We're like, yeah, okay, yeah, I know. We're going to go live. And then we got home in plenty of time. We did the mail. We did the shopping. Hubbard built a rack for us for taking pictures and stuff. And she was out in the garage sorting the sale stuff, and I was in here getting prepped for my videos today. And then she walks in, and I guess she went into her desk, and then she texts me, and she's like, "So no Murder Monday?" And she had asked me earlier, and I said, "Yeah, we're gonna do Murder Monday." And she's like, "So no Murder Monday?" And I was like, "Yeah, sure." And she goes, "It's 7:30." I went, "What?"
You're the one that's supposed to be keeping track of the time. You're the one that's not, situationally unaware.
Yeah, but how many times a day do I have to come to you and go, when's the last time I took my meds?
Well, you got me there. All right. So, see, nobody's fault. Just shenanigans.
I'm trying to fix this. Harry made an avalanche in the kitty cave down here.
Oh, no, not an avalanche in the kitty cage.
Well, when a dog is chasing you.
Oh.
At 900 miles an hour.
There is that.
Yeah, not entirely his fault.
No, it's Ozzy's fault because he's the starter. Ginger will get in on it, but Ozzy is always the starter.
Yeah, he's the antagonist.
All right, I'm just pulling out all kinds of stuff here. I don't know what I want to do. So how's everything in the other room?
I recorded 7 videos. It's a mess out here.
You said 5.
I lied. 7.
See, you lie right to my face.
I know.
Right to my face.
Here, I'm going to make it better. Hold on.
Are you?
Yeah, I know how to make it better.
You think you can make it better? Better than last week when we Waffle House murdered people? All right. I got a pile of... Oh, my. All right, I forgive you.
I know.
Look, she made a giant tag. Well, I just said I needed a tag, so that's awesome. Did you just make that, or was it already there? Ew, look, it's going to stick way out of the book, too. I'm so excited. Okay, so I pulled that out, and then I also pulled out... Hold, please. Hold, please. This postie card.
Well, thank you, Adria, because we're glad to see you, too.
Well, and by see, we mean look at your writing.
All right.
Okay, so those 2 are going to go in there for sure. We just need to decorate. Yeah. Autumn Splendor in Vermont. We're going to murder somebody in Vermont. Changing the whole tone of this card. This house is now in Vermont. It's not in Colorado. Ta-da! So, why do we so far away? Am I doing something wrong? Oh, there we go. I was like, why does it seem like we're in the outer space?
Because you don't hit the thingy?
Did you just call me stupid?
No. Never. Goofy.
To my face. All right.
Yeah, I tore this place up out here. It is a disaster.
Have you seen your floor? Looks like my floor last week.
That's what I'm talking about.
It does look like you murdered some paper over there.
I did.
Yeah, we had a whole thing. Where'd that other... I made this whole tag and a whole little story to go with this page right here because that's a pocket. And then I put all the stuff on here, and I didn't think about putting these right in the middle. These industrial staples. And it was not a good idea.
Not a good idea?
Well, I put it in the pocket and it did this.
I can't see it because you're off camera.
Oh, that side of the... I forget. Only one side of the book fits on the camera. This hole right here.
Oh, no.
So we're going to fix that, and we're going to put the stuff in the pocket over here. It's going to be fine.
Okay.
It'll be fine. Just fine.
It'll be just fine. Peachy fine.
I don't like it when you do that. That voice is a little creepy. Like I'm get it murdered in the middle of the night.
Trying to find a right size circle for this.
Is there a right size circle?
For this, yeah.
And what is this?
It's just a thing that I'm looking at.
Okay, you're being mysterious again.
No.
So we went to the hardware store yesterday.
I like the hardware store.
I think we all like the hardware store for different reasons. I think I left my paint chips there, Elz.
At the hardware store?
I think I left them on the register.
Awesome.
Maybe I put them in my purse. Hold on.
That's a bottomless pit.
Not like yours. Nope, I didn't. I left them on the register. I've got some really good ones, too. I had some inspiration things for summer. I was looking for color inspiration for summer. Son of a biscuit. We have to go back to the hardware store, else. Bad
Aw,
news. I hate it when we have to
really?
go back. Darn it.
darn it.
I was going to show you my ideas for summer, and now I can't. Dang it.
Shucks.
Foiled again.
I lost my little circle punch.
You just had it the other day. You were using it. Did you not put it back where it goes?
Who knows?
But you're so anal about your craft supplies. You always put everything back.
Yeah, but I've been working on videos today, so everything out here is a damn disaster.
Did you use it today?
No. Ah, there it is.
Was it hiding?
No, it's right where it should have been.
Well, that's where you went wrong.
All right, so I found it.
So I got 2 new Atinis. I bought stuff. What a surprise.
Did you?
Yep. Can't believe I love my paint chips. So I got a green one because we have a brown one right now. This is a 12-inch.
Ooh. Sorry.
And it was too tall for me. And the people in the paint section just watched me try to tippy toe and pull it down. Nobody helped.
I'm sorry.
I had to stretch because I'm too short to get to their shelves are so high. And then I got another 6-inch one because I like that size. It's fun to work with. It goes fast. And you have to limit yourself. It's more challenging, you know. Yeah, they left me all by myself, and I had to do stuff. Okay, who are we murdering today?
I don't know. Pick a victim, would you?
Oh my God. Okay, I'm looking at the other card to see what I think I'm going to use gross stuff. Everybody be prepared for gross stuff. I got some bloody legs. Part of a torso.
I just have to ask, since this is your murder book,
Uh-huh.
do you have cannibal tendencies?
No, we're not eating anybody.
Oh, okay. I'm just
Trying to
checking.
we're trying to make the world a better place. Getting rid of assholes.
Oh, okay. I'm going to put my little punch away.
Okay, these are all too big for this then. Maybe not. Gotta think about this for a minute. Okay, but we need a victim. It's a vintagey postcard, and then I may have to put some paint over that. Hold on.
Is she wearing pull tabs as earrings?
Yes, she is. You know, like?
No, that's very interesting.
I don't know. Dexter worked in the police department. He kind of had a better deal.
You do know that aspect is actually based on a true story, right?
Yeah. Oh, I was very into Dexter for a while. I still haven't finished that new one they did. I got into the first season and I never got any farther. I thought it was pretty well done. I have to tell you, towards the end, it was a little hard to watch. They wanted to murder his sister a lot.
Did he contemplate femicide?
No, I wanted to. I just found her character very annoying.
Ah. Okay. Oh, let's go over here and do this thing. Do 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 do.
Okay. Yep, still totally into that sweet plum. I spent $12 for one dye, apparently. One ink.
Wow.
Well, I have all the other ones. I just keep using that one. I like it. Oh, boy. I think there's still a little bit of glue in this one. Hold, please. So, you're not going to tease them, give them any teasers about what kind of videos might be coming up?
Why?
Okay. Well, how far down the line do they have to wait to see today's videos?
June and July?
Oh, my God. Meanwhile, I can't get yesterday's work done. I'm about halfway through the billing, guys. I should be able to finish the rest of it up tonight. Okay, I'm going to go with there is no more glue in this one. So, I'm going to get a different one. Whoa, okay. That was accepting. Okay. Throwing that one away, and we're going to use this one now. So yeah, so we're going to have some new rollatini type stuff coming out. Because it got the rolls for it. Now let's use some glue. It's too quiet in here. No, we're not talking.
Oh, I'm sorry.
Are ya?
Maybe.
Now it's stuffed up.
Oh, I'm working it out. What is this?
Oh,
that Darkwood Sanctuary broad's on again.
I know, she's always on, right?
Doesn't she ever go away?
Nope, she's so desperate for attention.
I know.
All right. So apparently we're having all the problems tonight. We ran out of glue. The glue was stuffed up. It had a stuffy nose.
I'm sorry.
Stop saying you're sorry. It's annoying.
Really?
Yeah.
Really?
I realize the irony of that statement. I do. However, stop it.
Okay. All right, I'll tell you what we're going to do. We're going to talk about the Texas killing fields today.
Oh. Are we now?
Yes.
Okay. She said, and then there was silence.
um,
All right, well, tell us.
So-
Tell us all about it.
the Texas killing fields refers to an area in League City, Texas, just off of Interstate Highway 45.
Okay.
And it is a southeast corridor that is west of Houston, or just east of Houston. Since the 1970s, 30 bodies have been found on this land. Very specifically, a 25-acre patch of this land.
It's very popular.
Yeah, well, that's one of the theories. So we're just going to talk about theories. We're not really going to talk about victimology or anything today. What we're really going to discuss is more like, the theories.
How many bodies again?
Over 45.
Holy cannoli. Somebody's a busy beaver.
I believe it's 45. Let me check.
Way to be an overachiever. So are the theories that maybe this isn't just one person? Is that one of the theories?
One of the theories is that the area is so remote and accessible at the same time,
right?
That multiple serial killers are dropping.
People could just drive up and nobody really knows they're there because it's that remote. Right. But there's no landscape features that keep people from just driving up.
Right. Very few of the murders that have been committed here have been solved. Not only do they find bodies there, but that's also been like the area surrounding it has also been like the last known location of missing people.
Okay.
Most victims are between 12 and 25 years of age. Most of them have some similar characteristics, but again, there's the one camp that's like, yeah, this is one person. And then there's the other camp that's like, well, no, it's probably multiple people.
Okay. And which side do you lean towards? What time span are we talking about? How long?
From 1970 to current.
Okay, that would be, because I was born in 71 and I'm 53, and you were born in 69 and you're what, 54?
Yes, the problem here with the
that would make the person in their 50s or 60s at the very least. Well, no, that would be pushing 70s
to 80s.
Yeah, so it's probably, well, I guess it could be like father, son, brothers, partners.
Yeah,
that could double the victim count, which would be about right?
Yeah.
When was the last body found? Like how long ago?
2006.
Okay, so it's been a while.
So you're talking about almost 20 years since they found a victim.
Yeah.
So if it was one person, yeah, he could have died. And it's one of those areas that, like, it's the FBI describes it as the perfect place to kill somebody and get away with it. Okay.
Okay.
You could actually, like, you can see oil refineries and things like that. You can see the I-45, but if you yelled at the top of your lungs, nobody would hear you.
And that's a rare.
There's no place to go.
We used to hike all the time in Ohio, and we could be 14, 15, 20 miles out. We could still hear cars. To be that far away that you don't hear anything is unusual.
Yep. But
Texas is a big effing state, you know?
But if you think about it, if you yelled, and no matter how close you are to a highway, unless you're standing right there with your hands cupped over your mouth going, hey, nobody's even going to pay attention.
That's true.
So all these people are...
So does nobody really live out there? Like, what's the nearest residence say? Do you, like, ballpark it?
Well, that's kind of the thing. This 25-acre plot of land belongs to somebody, and they live on the land.
Right, we've talked about this. I remember a while back.
Mm-hmm.
So somebody does live on the land?
Yes.
Okay.
So there's been suspects. There is a movie about this. It's called Texas Killing Fields. It was made in 2010, 2011, somewhere around there.
Around the time shortly after the time they found the last body.
Correct.
Guess what's not on my bucket list?
Going for a visit to League City, Texas?
Yes. Leslie, how you doing? Welcome.
Hello. So
All right.
we're going to look at this as if this were, since you're hypothetically a serial killer.
What? I get the mind for it, but I got a 53-year-old body that's fat and old and tired.
We're going to talk about this as if, you know, we're having a conversation about everyday things.
Okay.
So, you know, where's a good place to dump a body?
In the middle of nowhere.
In the middle of nowhere. Well, where's in the middle of nowhere?
Well, you want a reasonably heavily wooded area. You want wildlife to scatter the remains and, you know, consume.
Mm-hmm.
You want an area that you know well
Yep.
enough to know, like, when somebody might be around, since it is somebody's property. So, what else?
Well, I want an area that's not frequently patrolled.
Yeah, and you don't want to have a lot of hikers up in there or hunters.
Yeah.
Leslie says Louisiana swamps.
Now, see, that's a great place because if you can get in there deep enough and you get rid of it,
The
gators will take care of that evidence for you.
because they like carry on.
Yep.
They like to eat things that is already dead and rotted. They like it to soften up, so to speak. Yeah. So you think they'd start some drone patrols or, you know, satellite that shit? But you don't want it to be so hard to get to that you got to lug a body 30 miles either.
Right.
Or parts and pieces of. I got to go I got to run out to look for an atlas. Maybe I have one in here. I need a picture of Vermont. I need a map of Vermont. Let me see if I got one in here. You can continue.
Oh,
It's okay.
so, you know, if you have to pick a spot,
This is ideal. Is it flat? Is it hilly? Is it rocky? Like, what's going on out there?
it's Texas.
It's all of those things.
It's Texas and it's out by Houston, so it's pretty damn flat.
Yeah. I lived in Houston for a short while.
So you've got this perfect spot. And I'm sure if you're killing people, you're going to tell all your serial killing friends.
Well, do I have serial killer facts now? I want to be friends with other serial killers.
But the question becomes, is this like serial killers that are wandering through and they all just see this spot and go, damn? Or are they legitimately all victims of one person? Which, according to the timeline, we can say they could be the victims of one person and that person is now deceased.
Well, you have to also, what's the victimology like? Is it all different kinds of methods and stuff?
Yes, Miss Leslie, we are talking about killing fields near Texas City.
Ooh. Lightheaded.
So that's one of those, you know. The other one that we're going to kind of go into, and this one's more of a conspiracy theory
Okay.
than it is a confirmed deal. Okay? And there's two different ones.
Two conspiracy theories. Well, still my beating heart.
No, two different killers.
Oh, okay.
Okay. So the first one was a guy called the Smiley Face Killer. And he would sign his letters with a smiley face and he would taunt the police. Now, they caught him. He went to prison. He's done. But the conspiracy theory we're going to talk about is the smiley face murders. And this is a conspiracy theory that links murders from all over the country together based on one thing.
Okay.
The proximity to the victim of a spray-painted smiley face.
Okay. I think I've heard of that. One.
Now, there's absolutely nothing that says that these are the same perpetrator other than victimology is similar and this smiley face.
Okay, but are the murder methods similar or different? Like,
they can be similar, but this
like, is it like an evolution from one kind to another, like where they got more comfortable, or is it just all over the place?
No, it's kind of all over the place, but I'll show you. So
Okay.
if they find this, specifically this particular smiley face, nothing with, circle eyes or anything, just the
That one
slit
with
eyes.
the split eyes and the.
Yeah.
Okay, so not like the one I make where it's not the circle, it's just the. Mine look like that except no circle. When I make mine, it's like that.
Okay, that would not be accepted.
So I'm not the smiley face killer. Woohoo!
This is not accepted.
Nothing with like a little curly hair or.
No, this and this alone.
Is it always the same color?
Nope. So here's the thing. Victimology. They are college-age males found in water in 11 states. They're found after they leave parties or bars where they've been drinking. They're popular, they're athletic, they're successful, and most of them are white. So that is what they are using to connect the victims.
Are they gay or straight?
Nothing confirmed.
Okay. Well, I'm mentioning it because, I was rewatching, what was I rewatching? The one with Mandy Patinkin. Criminal Minds.
Yeah.
And they have an episode that's set in Florida where that's the victimology, not necessarily in water, but it was a woman serial killer. But they also had one where it was a person with split personality.
Oh, awesome.
But the split personality that was the killer was a woman also. But the person themselves was a guy. And that one I think that was also set in Florida during spring break.
Okay, so this theory was put together by a couple of retired New York PD detectives.
Okay, so is this one of those cold case groups? It's an interesting aside. It has nothing really to do with what you're saying.
Yes. And a criminal justice professor who happens to be an expert in gangs.
Okay.
And he is from St. Cloud State University.
Mm-hmm.
So they wrote this theory that the allegation is that 45 young men found in bodies of water across 11 Midwestern American states between 1990s and 2010s did not accidentally drown. They're the victims of a serial killer. That is their argument.
And it's because of the smiley face along with the victimology.
Yes.
So it's in a combination. It's not just any drowned man anywhere.
Right. So what they did is they looked at these deaths, and they specifically looked for men with, that were in college age.
Right. In good shape.
In good shape.
We're at a bar or
had been out accidental drownings. They specifically looked at that parameter.
Right.
And came up with these bodies. They call them the smiley face because in several of the pictures of where the bodies were dumped or put into the water, where they believe they were put into the water, there was graffiti depicting the smiley face. And that was at least a dozen of the cases that they looked at. So they went back and they looked at them again and formed this theory with, believably, a good psychological argument based on, unfortunately, they've never been able to get samples of the paint. Is it the same brand? Is it the same color exactly?
Right.
I would think that would be something that would be.
Yeah.
beneficial.
Are they all the same paint, the same spray paint, the same brush marks? Are they made by the same person or persons?
Right. Are some of them made by left-handed as opposed to right-handed? Or some of them made starting with the circle, others made starting with the eyes, nose, and the mouth? Because all of that is how you do, certain things is ritualistic. Okay. So their theory is that these men were all murdered either by an individual or by an organized group of killers.
Okay.
All right.
Is this the gang task force guy that's putting that forth?
Oh, I'm sure. Well, this would have to be somebody from the 1990s to the 2000s and 10s. You're talking about a 20-year period.
Right.
So now you're talking about, if it's a single person, are they constantly on the move? Is this like a truck driver or a traveling salesperson or a traveling nurse or somebody like that?
Right.
And how is this person getting these college guys to follow them to where the water is?
Well, the easiest thing would be to say they were all healthy young men, college age. They probably would easily follow a woman out.
Yes.
Not really think much of it. Or more than one girl,
Yeah. So, as of right now, these three men are basically the only people that have anything to do with this theory. The police departments are refusing to investigate it as a serial.
Right, because for them, it's not enough information.
Right. Because even though you've got this pool of victims, some of them have shown no signs of defensive wounds.
No sign of struggle or...
No sign of a struggle. Where others...
No bruising or,
have had defensive wounds.
Okay.
So in a lot of the cases, a lot of the ones that they've kind of said, this could be part of, have been ruled accidental by the coroner.
Right, right.
And that's really where you hit that kind of brick wall, because getting a coroner to change the ruling and manner of death on a death certificate.
Well, if it was easy, everybody'd be doing it.
Unless it's from, natural causes to murdered, they're not going to do it. So La Crosse, Wisconsin has one of the highest concentrations of these victims.
Okay.
They have 8. Okay. And their conclusions are these are accidental drownings of inebriated men.
8 in one area.
8 in one area. Hey, it's 6:15.
What? I need alarms for things.
Nothing. So that's 8 people in one area. So according to the police's theory, 8 separate people got so drunk.
In what kind of time frame though? Is this all of the is in that area? Is it over a 20-year span?
Yeah, it is. But at least half of those victims that I'm aware of, at least half of those victims did not live in the direction of the water from where they were last seen.
Well, yeah, but how hard is it for a girl to go, hey, come hang out with my van down by the river or the beach?
I know, but I'm saying based on the police's theory that this was an accidental drowning.
So they went away from their home to go to whatever water it was.
Right.
So if you were going to go for a swim or whatever, you're more likely to go around something around where you live.
Right.
Someplace you know.
So here's the thing. The reason why, one of the other reasons why they're having such a hard time swallowing that these are connected is, I mean, we've driven halfway across the country. We were in the middle of freaking nowhere and there was graffiti.
Yeah. There's graffiti everywhere.
So
in even the most rural areas.
Right. So how uncommon is it to find a smiley face, which is probably one of the most common forms of graffiti?
Right.
Within a 5-mile, 10-mile, area. How many do you think are there?
Well, I don't know. Somebody needs to do some studies.
And that's the point. This is the most common type of graffiti, whether it's on the back of the bathroom door, on a bridge, a derelict building. There is graffiti that is happy faces everywhere.
But also a lot of them's initials, I think the most common is probably initials or letters.
Yeah, but the most common, like, individual, like some guy whose initials are PJ is not running around putting PJ on everything across the country. So they're not going to look similar.
Right.
But a happy face.
But the exact same happy face.
Yeah, but a lot of people make that face just like that.
Yeah, that's true. I do the same thing just without the circle.
Right. So, a profiler calls this theory ludicrous.
Okay. Is this your favorite theory?
I don't think that all of the victims are connected.
But you think some of them?
But I think some of them are.
Probably the ones in that one small area.
It could be in a couple of different areas. And, we could be talking about a female serial killer here.
Well, and I think that's part of the problem is people don't want to. That's almost taboo. There just aren't that many.
Right. But you're making the perfect argument.
Yeah. Unless they're gay men, like gay on the down low, and they're hooking up with men. You would also follow that booty out of a bar without much compunction because men are on Grindr. They'll fuck anything. Sorry.
But, if you know what I mean?
A man is more likely to leave with somebody he's aroused by, whether it's a man or a woman.
Adria says it's me. I did it. Hi, Roseanne.
Why would you confess here, woman?
I don't know. But if you think about it, I think that this could be.
Hi, Roseanne. Hi, Jacqueline. I'm sorry, I haven't even been looking at the chat. I'm a terrible person.
I think this could be a female serial killer. At least some of the cases.
Yeah, I don't disagree.
And, this is my theory on the case.
Okay.
I think it's a female.
I don't disagree.
I think that
I think it's possibly could be either more than one, like two.
I think that she may be a victim.
Yeah.
And I think that she is taking out her frustration at not
probably didn't get the justice she deserved, because you know how rape cases go.
Yeah. Not getting her justice, not getting protection, not being understood or believed. And I think it's very possible that, she goes to college towns.
Right.
She hangs out in bars.
In search of a specific kind of guy, kind of a alpha jock.
Yeah. And then she roofies him. Once
they're alone, yeah. She can't roofie him in the bar.
Sure she can. She can. Think about this. For years and years and years.
Suggestible.
Hold on. For years and years and years and years.
She can't carry him out. Like some of the guys will escort a woman basically drooling on her way out the door.
Right. But the thing is that it may not work as fast on him.
Right. Bigger muscle mass and all that crap.
A lower dose may make it so that he can walk, but he's not feeling really well. He's feeling like he's a little drunker than he should be. So I'm going to go ahead and leave out of here, bros. I'm out. And he walks out, and then she's out there. And she's like, hey, are you all right? And he's like, yeah. And she's like, come on, let's go to my car. I'll take you home. It is for years and years and years and years and years, we have been told as women, don't leave your drink in a bar.
Right. But men aren't told that kind of stuff.
Right. If you come back, don't finish your drink. Don't accept a drink from somebody you don't know. If a girl, a decent looking woman, walks up, in her 20s, walks up to a guy in his 20s and hands him a beer, he's going to drink it.
But this went on for 20 years.
Yeah, but if she was
reasonably good looking, she'd still be appealing.
Let's say she was in
or she might start. Go ahead.
Let's say she was in her mid-teens when she was originally assaulted.
Right. So by 19 to 21, she's probably at it.
Yep. So you're talking a woman who's probably in her early 30s.
Well, 20 years, she'd be in 40s now, or 40s when it stopped.
Right. So it's very possible.
But it's also possible with attendant psychological issues that she's institutionalized, and that's the only reason it stopped.
Right.
Without her getting caught.
Right. So if you think about this could be a woman who was victimized herself and decided to get her revenge. And so she picks a very, specific victimology. And even if, to be honest, even if she's older, that part of a man doesn't really see age. He sees some woman bought him a free drink.
Yeah. And Adria's right. There's the cougar thing, Some young men go for that, It's more who's willing than, the age.
And if she's going to give him free booze and then, she accidentally bumps into him outside because she's getting ready to leave. Oh, honey, you're a wreck. Let me drive you home. What's your address? She could be pulling that off into her 40s.
Yeah. Crafting Lodge is Jacqueline, you guys.
You know, the perfect scenario is she's in the bar with friends, or she was supposed to meet some friends.
Right.
She sees the guy get up and go to the bathroom. Then she gets up with a drink in her hand. As he's coming back out, she accidentally bumps into him and spills her drink.
Right.
Oh my God, I'm so sorry. Let me get you a drink. I'll send it to your table. So he goes and sits down with his friends. And he's like, man, I got this all over me. And then the waitress comes over and goes, oh, that lady over there at the bar, she said to bring you this. She's sorry. She spilled her drink on you or whatever. And the guy's like, that's cool. And he starts drinking it. And the next thing you know, he's not feeling so good. And he starts to leave. And she's outside and he's still okay. And she's like, oh, and he's like, are you all right? She's like, yeah, I was supposed to meet friends and they didn't show up. Now I'm going to go to my car. And I'm just concerned, because I'm not familiar with this area. Well, let me walk you to your car, because now he's being chivalrous. And he walks her to the car, and by the time he gets to the car, he's half crocked. Push him in, take him to wherever she's going to take him.
So are there cars left at the bars then?
Some of their cars are left at the bars. Some of them are, school in a college area. These people walk a lot.
Okay.
So, but not necessarily, not even if they did say, hey, we saw a woman buy him a drink. That's not necessarily going to put two and two together. And some of their buddies, they may not even think about that.
Right.
Oh, nothing could have been wrong with that harmless older lady. So.
Okay, but what does that have to do with the Texas killing fields?
We're talking about conspiracy murders.
Oh, okay. So we're on a theme.
Mm-hmm.
Okay.
You told me you didn't want to know about victims for a while.
No, I don't want to hear about fucking child victims for a little while.
Well, they all got a child someplace. God, you know what? That chowder was really good.
Yep. Too bad it's like a one-time thing, Well, not for you, because you have a whole pot to yourself.
I do.
But Sandy already had second, so that means the rest is for Mike. I'm not going to eat him out of his own chowder.
You know you can have my chicken chowder. I share with you.
Oh. Cool. I feel special.
Okay. So
I kind of like I get what you're saying. It's definitely a possibility.
So this is one of those theories that's been, hashed and rehashed. There's been docuseries made about it. There's been TV shows that have been made about it.
Or
murder movies. This one as well. Well, there was a murder movie about the killing fields, but there's been movies about this as well.
Why are you and Roseanne famous? I don't know.
Because they're on the screen, because you put them there.
I put them there? Oh, I don't know how I did that. I'm sorry. Sorry. I pushed a button.
She's always pushing the button.
I pushed a button. I'm sorry. Okay, I wanted it like that. All right, now I need something else.
Can you unpush the button?
I did unpush the button.
All right, it's gone. Took a while.
I did it.
See, she's always pushing the button unless I want her to push the button. Then she won't push the button.
I'm contrary like that.
I know.
What can I say?
So this, again, is another one of those ones where they've done, it's been, I remember watching this on Unsolved Mysteries.
Yeah.
It's been on, they did a docuseries on it. They've made movies on it. It's been in books. It's out there.
Okay.
Sorry, I got dog over here. Okay.
I need a thing. So is that our full thing?
No.
Okay, just checking.
Okay.
That's very chunky. Okay,
What are you doing?
I'm looking for something to put on this stuff in my box of buttons. There's a lot of buttons in here, man. What are you doing?
Oh, just, listening to you play with the buttons and playing with the buttons.
But I like to play with the buttons.
I know you do.
They make such a fun noise. Well, she seemed to have got away with it for a good long time. Assuming it's a she,
Yeah. All right. So, the reason that we're talking about conspiracy type theory type stuff is because there's a lot of these out there, and I think in some ways they shelter the actual criminal. I think that because the police want to look at this and say, no, that's a conspiracy theory, that they overlook options of investigation that may or may not produce usable facts.
Right. So basically, they don't want to waste manpower on something that may not pan out.
Right.
It's easier to call it an accidental drowning. And move on, because at least that way it's off their books, right?
Yep.
But this goes back to lazy detective work, which has been a bugaboo in a bunch of these cases.
Yes. Okay.
I mean, as near as I can tell, you can your best bet is to hope that no cop actually becomes interested in the victims, or that they just can't piece it together, which should be harder today than it was in the 70s and 80s because there's so many databases and stuff. I'll be right back. I have to visit the restroom.
Okay. Hi, Harry. Sorry, hold on. I have to love on the cat. Put that down. Nobody wants to see that. All right. What?
Okay, I'm back.
Okay, good. All right. So, another killer that had a lot of conspiracy theories. A lot.
Okay. A lot.
A lot. Matter of fact, it's had a little over 100 years worth of them.
Oh no, it's the Ripper.
Is Jack. We're not going to move into this, right on the money, but I am going to take you guys there. But we're going to start with his contemporary.
Okay.
So, H.H. Holmes.
I have problems with him.
Not a serial killer.
Yeah.
Okay.
Exactly.
So, I know that I'm going to hear some backlash on this. Yeah, he won't show his face, but he's going to show you all the rest of him.
Well, he loves to show his tushy. He thinks all of you want to see his tushy all the time.
Adria, don't ever say that again. That sounds horribly disgusting.
Was it the picture that went too far?
No.
I see it.
Yeah, okay.
Had to go
That
further
just sounds
up.
perverse, doesn't it?
A little bit. But
She's
that's our lady.
rereading that. At this moment, she's rereading that and falling off her shoes. Oh my God, I put that up there. Okay. So, yeah, we're going to talk a little bit about conspiracy theories. And if we're going to talk about conspiracy theories, we do have to talk about H.H. Holmes and we have to talk about the Ripper.
Okay.
It's the one about the Kong.
Oh, do you want me to highlight that one?
Yeah, highlight that one so she can see what you're talking about. We know what a Kong is, but come on.
Take her off the hook now.
Yeah.
I know, but we didn't know that at first, and we're like, is that slang for something else?
Okay, H.H. Holmes, The Murder Castle. Hello? Hello? Hello?
That tiny little button. Perfect.
I have no idea why my phone just rang.
Neither does your phone, apparently.
Apparently. Okay. So, H.H. Holmes, they said murder castle. Now, according to the press at the time, he had built this building that had secret passages. It had doors that only opened from the outside. He had body chutes that went to the basement. He had an incinerator down there where he was burning up bodies. He had, he killed multiple people. He was convicted of killing people that turned up alive. H.H. Holmes was not a serial killer.
He was a con artist.
He was a con artist. And he did kill one person that they can be sure of, that they can actually document he did it. They cannot prove any other deaths. Even where he says that he put the bodies, nothing has been found.
Well, also back in the day, he was getting paid by the press for interviews.
Yes.
So I think he was deliberately being salacious to get paid for interviews.
Absolutely. And I'm going to what is probably one of the most well-known quote interview type things
Mhm.
in history. Dear boss, I keep on hearing the police have caught me, but they won't fix me just yet. I've laughed when they look so clever and talk about being on the right track. That joke about Leather Apron gave me real fits. We all know what this is, right?
It's Jack the Ripper.
This is Jack the Ripper, supposedly Jack the Ripper writing the Dear Boss letter to the newspaper.
Right?
It was not written by him.
Okay.
This has actually been proven and was admitted to, that this letter was written by a reporter working for that newspaper to bring up readership.
Oh, see, I didn't know that. I hadn't heard that.
Mm-hmm.
I quit watching
Many-
Jack the Ripper. I can't tell you the number of documentaries that come out, and they're like all new stuff on Jack the Ripper, and you watch it, and it is not all new stuff. Not even close.
No.
They just rehash the same shit, you know?
They rehash the same stuff, and really all they're doing is giving you their rundown of it. Let's be honest. You know, it's a 100-year-old
they're
murder.
doing the facts towards their pet theory.
Right. And they do. They mold the facts to fit. So here's H.H. Holmes, who legitimately can only be directly tied to one murder. Although he does have a tie to Jack the Ripper. They believe, there are some people that believe in one of the conspiracy theories that H.H. Holmes was Jack the Ripper.
I thought the timelines didn't actually match up.
Oh, no, they did.
But not for all of them, just for
But
some.
not for all of them. Not for all of the conical victims. Jack the Ripper had more than his conical five.
But that's all people focus on.
But that's all the people focus on because those were his, like, in-your-face murders. But there were others. But that was, you know, they were very localized. They were very vivid. And you know what? To be honest with you, there's even a case to be made that his last victim, the worst of his victims,
Yeah.
was not his victim.
Well, that's why it was so brutal.
Right.
Possibly not his. Just somebody who was doing what they think a maniac would do and didn't really know all that much about the case.
Adria, I'll tell you what. When I'm done, you're going to know everything there is to know about Jack the Ripper.
Really, Adria? He has probably the most documentaries of any serial killer ever.
Yes. The most books written about him, too.
But I think that's because it's unsolved and people, you know, love a good...
Do you know that case file is still open?
But here's the thing. Short of somebody coming up with a diary where a person says, I did it, and documents exactly. At this point in time, with the degradation of evidence and everything else, there is no way that they are ever going to prove who it was. Never.
There is no evidence.
Or they develop time travel, you know?
There is no evidence.
Okay.
They did not keep any evidence. The rag that was found, the bloody rag that he used to wipe the blood off of the supposedly wipe the blood off the blade, was discarded. The bodies were examined and buried in paupers' graves, so they had lime put on them.
Well, I thought somebody had some piece of clothing examined at some point.
It was proven to be false.
Well, and even so, if it had probably been handled so many times that you couldn't take whatever it was at face value, because even if it had been genuine, it had been handled so many times that cross-contamination was definitely a thing, you know?
Right. So, yes, there was one of the conspiracy theories was that H.H. Holmes was Jack the Ripper. There is a conspiracy theory that Jack the Ripper was a woman.
I hadn't heard that one.
Oh, yes.
I've heard a lot of theories.
The Prince.
Right. I've heard that one. Everybody's heard that one.
The Queen's Doctor.
And they love to trot those two out, especially because ties to royalty, you know?
Yep. There is the conspiracy theory that the victims were actually sacrifices from a group of occultists.
Oh, my. Well, I had not heard that one.
The
Yes,
writer
do
and
tell me,
artist.
yeah.
The writer and artist Siegert.
Yeah.
He's actually one of the newer ones.
Really?
Yeah. There's a theory that it was the detective who was in charge of the investigation, his butler.
Really?
And then, of course, there was, the butcher. The baker, the candlestick maker. The guy who puts the lights out at night. Just, wow. A bar owner. A priest. That's one of my favorites.
Of course the butler did it.
Yeah, of course. Right?
That's not tropey at all.
Yes, the American Doctor is H.H. Holmes. That's the American Doctor. He was Dr. H.H. Holmes. And they did a documentary saying that he was it. He was. But the problem is yes, they can put him in London at the time because he actually got arrested.
Of course he did.
Do you know what he got arrested for?
Con somebody?
Nope. He got arrested for having anatomical specimens.
Oh, that's right. He was a grave robber on top of everything else.
On top of everything else, he was a grave robber. Absolutely.
Well, and the hotel that they're always talking about with him was never finished. There were no chute to the basement. There was not a furnace capable of burning bodies down there. There was
None
no
of that existed.
floor, which is where they say most of the stuff happened. All of the stuff that they say has been proven by the blueprints and documents for work that was done.
Yeah.
That none of that could have happened.
So, yeah, it was basically, it was kind of a game of telephone. He got arrested for the one murder, and he didn't actually get arrested for that murder. He was actually arrested for a con. And then they arrested him for the murder. They arrested him for a con in which they found a dead body that the person who was supposed to die, his wife could then identify that body as her husband.
And collect some kind of benefits, right?
And collect insurance. Because that's what H.H. Holmes did. He did insurance scams. And he was actually H.H. Holmes's partner in the murder castle. The murder castle. So eventually, H.H. Holmes did kill him. But that was way after he originally killed him. And what happened is they arrested him for the murder. And then, of course, when they arrested him, they went to investigate his place of residence. His place of residence was that hotel. He owned the building. So they go there and they look and they start to investigate. And at this point, the reporters are showing up going, hey, what's going on? And some cop goes, some beat cop goes, we arrested this guy on murder. Now we're checking his house to see if there's any evidence. Evidence of murder found in. What should we call this place? It looks like a murder castle. That's tomorrow's headline. And that's the way that it kind of got built. And then they were like, what are you finding in there? Well, down in the basement, there's a big kiln. Yeah, absolutely there was. But if you asked anybody who lived around him, did you smell burning bodies? Which I have to tell you, it's a smell. They didn't have purifiers like they do today. Back then, when they burned a body, you just smelled the burning body. But nobody would go, oh yeah, we smelt it.
Well, and you can't completely get rid of the body either. Some of the bones remain.
Right. That's why when a body is cremated, and first thing they dry it, then they put it in the crematorium. It has to be at a certain temperature for so many hours. And then when it comes out, they actually take the remains and put it into something called a cremulator that grinds.
Yeah.
It's like a big coffee grinder. It grinds up the bones. Those bones are brittle because they've been burned and baked, but they're still bones. And so they have to, once the body comes out, they go in and they take out whatever, like my mom had artificial knees. So they had to remove her titanium knees and a lot of people have, like pins in their ankles or something like that, or plates or something.
Pacemaker.
Right. Well, the pacemaker they take out before they burn them.
Okay.
That they can't leave in. It'll explode.
Oh, well, that's exciting.
Mm-hmm.
Definitely not be a boring cremation.
But he would basically go and find bodies, and then he would dehydrate them, deflesh them. If they had any flesh left, usually he would get bodies that had been in the ground for so long they were pretty much skeletal to begin with.
For anatomy skeletons, right?
And he would build anatomy skeletons out of them, and he would sell them because even back then those were expensive.
Hard to come by a full set of bones.
Exactly. And that's what his basic scam was. He was able to always come up with. And that was one of the
grave robber.
Right. But that was one of the things that brought. And then when he was in England, he was doing some anatomy pieces for, this is also in the time of Gilbert and Burke.
Right.
So he was in England trying to make a name for himself as a procurer of specimens.
Mm-hmm.
And so he had some specimens, and somebody had actually pointed him out as a suspect for the Ripper. And, they took him in and they searched his room and they came up with these anatomical specimens, and they asked him about it. He's like, oh, my name is Dr. Holmes, Dr. H.H. Holmes, and I'm from America, and I'm just here on a business trip, and those are my medical specimens. And they went, oh, okay, have a good day. So very good, Adria. So
Nice.
So we're going to talk about these two, H.H. Holmes, who's not a serial killer, and his connection to Jack. And then we're going to talk about Jack. So for now, I'm going to tell you why H.H. Holmes was not a serial killer. Didn't kill a bunch of people. People that he was accused of killing showed up after he supposedly killed them. There was a fantastic documentary done on this conspiracy theory that H.H. Holmes was Jack the Ripper. And it was actually a descendant of H.H. Holmes. I think it was his great-grandson who pressed to have this made. And they went and they looked at the Jack the Ripper cases. They looked at him being in England at the time, all of the possible evidence, and they discounted most of it. Hey, Nina. All right. So let me see if I can find the name of this.
Thank you guys very much. It's not finished yet, but I got to wait for the earring to dry in the metal piece. So I'm at a little bit of an impasse. And I'm going to put something underneath the lace. I just haven't decided what it is yet. I may write on this tissue paper, which has some patterning on it, and put a section of that under there, like some, crazy writing. So yeah, but I got to let that earring. The earring has to kind of lay in situ for a while before it, so it doesn't. It's one of those old style with the post that you screw in. So it has to just sit still. Nina! How you doing, lady? While we're waiting for Elz to look up stuff, I'll check in on you guys.
I'm trying to see if I can find the documentary that was done.
Well, Nina announced she was here by putting up an ear emoji like, I'm listening. You're tired and waiting to go to work. Yep. Well, hopefully we can keep you entertained for a little bit.
Yep, it's called The American Ripper.
Is that a documentary?
That's the documentary.
And what's it on?
Let's see. Where can we watch this?
Oof, that's a long overnight thing, Nina.
It's from the History Channel.
Okay.
So you may be able to find it on the History Channel, but it's called American Ripper.
Okay. I'll ask the TV later.
And it might even be available on YouTube.
Oh, possibly, yeah.
But it follows his great-grandson as he decides he wants some answers. Was his great-grandfather really a serial killer? Was he really Jack the Ripper?
He wasn't.
So they go through and they do everything, even so much as exhuming his grave.
Jesus.
Yeah. But I think it's like 4 or 5 parts.
Okay.
And it is a really good watch. And I think it's one of the few documentaries of its type that actually says this is not what it was. They disprove, so much.
With 4 episodes, it's probably more in depth, but there is a much shorter one on Prime, or at least there was about a couple of years ago. The photographs and the clips they use to illustrate the narration is terrible. If you look it up on Prime, anything about H.H. Holmes, it's maybe an hour long, like 45 minutes to an hour. The information is excellent, but everything else is a little, it doesn't go together. It's badly timed.
Awesome.
But the information is accurate.
So we're going to talk next week. We're going to talk about H.H. Holmes in much more detail, and his connection to the investigation for Jack the Ripper. And then, in the coming weeks, we're going to talk about some of the other theories.
We're going to learn a lot about Jack the Ripper in the coming weeks.
I love Jack the Ripper. I love the whole idea of it. And it's not in a romantic way. It's something that is...
She's fascinated by the case.
By the case. I hear some of the stories and I'm like, are you crazy? And I'm going to tell you in the end of it who I think Jack the Ripper was. And I'm going to give you my arguments for it.
Oh, Nina, I feel it. I know what you mean. You'll find something. I didn't have room for it on this page, so it'll be on another page. I worked on instead this lady who lies. And I haven't finished it yet. But it goes with this house. So I want a little map of Vermont to put up here, which I couldn't find out. I gotta look in a box in the garage, and I don't want to be gone too long from the lives.
But I am gonna pop out. I'm done.
Okay, so we're done.
I have so many videos to get edited. I have 1, 2, 3.
Okay, Roseanne, thank you.
4. Bye.
It'll go in the middle.
5.
5 golden rings.
Hold on, I gotta go look. Here we go. I have 1, which is actually 2 in one video. So 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8. And the one I just finished, that's a total of 9 videos to edit. It's a lot.
All right, so yeah, and this stuff has to dry, so I can't do any more work tonight. But yeah, I got a whole little narrative going with her.
Oh, I like what you did with the tag.
The tag here, this.
With the black tag and the lace. I like it.
Yeah?
Yeah.
It's in progress, so you got to start on it.
I like it.
That earring's got to dry.
Yeah.
And then this is the back of the postcard.
I like it. I like it.
So we got a thing going on, but those pieces have to dry. I've got metal on both of them.
Leslie wants to know if you sent her an invoice.
Not yet, Leslie. You're 3 down on the list. You'll get it later tonight. It'll be to you by tomorrow morning. But probably in the middle of the night. Because everything gets triple checked. I want to make sure I get everything right. It's a process.
Yeah. Otherwise, she loses things, forgets things.
Hey. I have gotten things from sellers who rush through their invoicing process. I didn't double check things. I've had to send things to other people. Thanks,
That's always
Leslie.
one of my favorites.
So they sent me the wrong thing. I got to spend my money to send it to the other person, and they always say they'll reimburse you, and then they don't.
I make them send me the shipping label beforehand.
Probably, Kitty Jen, because we'll have a longer session. We're doing a short one tonight because it's Tuesday and it's not our usual day.
Yeah, it's the middle of the week.
So normally we do 2 hours. Also, we're about 15 minutes later than we usually are. Usually we start between 5 and 5:15. Today was 5:30. So we're going to call it for the night. Leslie, you'll have your invoice probably by morning. And that goes for anybody else who does not have one. If you're watching this later, I have 5 left to do, and one of them is already halfway done. So, and all of the remaining ones are smaller orders. I tend to process the big ones first, because I don't want to get to the end and be tired and screw something up because I'm tired, and it's a big order. Aw, thanks, Roseanne.
All right, so I'm out of here, ladies.
All right, we're done.
If you're on my in my group and you're doing the swap, the Happy Mail thing, try to get it out before the middle of next month, ladies. Okay, couple 2 weeks at the most, get it out. And if you have any problems getting a hold of the person you're sending to, let me know. If you need an address or something, let me know. Other than that, I'm out of here.
All right, we're done. Bye-bye.
Bye-bye.
Blessings and hugs and hisses to you all. That is the end.
And I'll see everybody in the morning.
Yes, she will.